Hello everyone, so hope you all have been doing great. In this video I'll be starting with sarcomere. Okay, so the previous video was just an overview of muscle physiology. Okay, in this video I'll be talking about sarcomere. So सबसे पहले what is important is कि sarcomere का location क्या है. Okay, where exactly is it placed? Okay, so in my last video we know that this is a fascicle जिसके अंदर बहुत सारे मसल फाइबर्स आर गोना बी देयर. मसल फाइबर इज इक्विवेलेंट टू अ मसल सेल. सो ये जो मसल सेल्स है, in each muscle cell we will be having many myofibrils. Okay, so many myofibrils are going to be present. So this is the arrangement here. This is one myofibril. ये एक muscle cell है and it is going to have many myofibrils. Okay, so this is one myofibril. Sorry for the background noise. So this one myofibril. अभी ये एक myofibril में we are going to have our sarcomere. Okay, sarcomere is the smallest structural and functional unit. Now what does the smallest functional unit, what does this mean? कि in case of skeletal muscle, what is the function? So the function is contraction, right? Contraction and relaxation. So sarcomere is the सबसे smallest unit which can contract. Okay, so where is it present? It is present inside myofibril. Okay, so what is the range of sarcomere? Okay, so I hope you have at least some idea ki Z line, M line, what are they. So from where does sarcomere extend? It extends from one Z line to another Z line. Okay, we'll get into the details ki what is the Z line. So for now, ki sarcomere is the smallest functional unit or the contractile unit of the muscle, and it extends from one Z line to another Z line. Okay, now okay, so the structure of actin and myosin, okay, that will be dealt in the excitation contraction coupling video, which will be the next video. Before that I'll be actin myosin का basic I'll be covering. Structure I won't be including in this video. सबसे पहले we'll see sarcomere. Okay, so this is the Z line. Now Z line को for this video what I want you to remember कि which filaments are attached. तो Z line को actin filament attach होंगे, and actin filaments ये these are the thin filaments. Okay, so if you are not able to remember, so actin, tin like thin, so actin is a thin filament, and Z line ko what is going to be attached? It is an actin which is going to be attached. Okay, so how I'll remember this is because myosin will be attached to the M line. So M for myosin, M for M line, and because actin is thin filament hai, so myosin is going to be the thick filament. So in this diagram, the pink one, okay, they seem to be more fatter compared to the green ones. So these are going to be your myosin filaments, and your green one are going to be your actin filaments. Okay, so ठीक है, actin myosin का location we know now. Actin will be attached to the Z line, myosin will be attached to the M line. Now what are the other terms which I want you to know is I band, A band, H zone. Okay, the Z line can be also called as Z disc. Okay, so now the other terms are A band and I band. Okay, so A band, so what I want you to remember is A band is going to include the entire length of myosin. So myosin ka entire length. So entire length of myosin is what that area occupied by myosin will be known as A band. So now this is a very nice concept. You see, you myosin hai and actin hai. You can see that some portion of myosin is overlapped with actin because they are interdigitated. Suppose this is myosin, this is actin, so some part is going to be overlapped. So जो A band है, what did I say कि it is going to occupy the entire length of myosin. तो this myosin थोड़ा सा तो वो actin के साथ भी interdigitate कर रहा है, right? So this myosin along with this some part of actin is also going to come. वो पूरा is going to be in your A band. Okay, so A band is going to include the entire length of myosin. That is the definition. But will it also include the interdigited part of your actin? So yes, it will include. And what is the I band? Now, I band will only include actin. Okay. So will it include the entire length of actin? No. Only actin. मतलब only this much part, the blue highlighted part. This part, which is थोड़ा सा myosin में it is interdigitated, that will be included in your A band. Okay, so myosin along with the overlapped portion with actin will be in your A band, and only actin will be in your I band. Okay, so I band is going to include only actin, not the interdigitated part. Okay, what I want you to know, what I want you to remember is we'll see excitation contraction coupling in a better way in the next video, the upcoming video. But for now, what I want you to remember is you have to just remember कि जो thin filaments है, they are going to slide over the thick filaments. Okay, so thick filaments, which are your myosin, they are not going to move from their place. Okay, ये जो thin filaments है, the green ones, which are your actin, वो they are gonna slide over the myosin. मतलब they're gonna slide over, मतलब ये Z line is it's very fragile. तो वो फटाक से when this actin will pull it, the Z lines are gonna come closer. Okay, suppose there is a contraction going to occur, तो Z line का ये position था in the relaxed state. In the contracted state, it will come closer. Okay, because ये actin is gonna pull it. It's gonna pull it. So ये हो गया new position during the contraction state. This is the Z line, and these lines which I have drawn, these are your actin. Okay, so ये हो गया new position. Now what question may be asked is कि during contraction does the length of the A band change? So see, what was it? What did I say? The definition of A band is entire length of myosin, entire length of this pink thing, myosin. Okay, myosin में there's any change going to occur? No. And was A band also including की interdigitated part? So yes. So क्या कुछ change हुआ in the A band? So the answer is no, because A band because myosin gonna stay at their own place. But I band is including only actin. अभी क्या हो गया? Because of contraction, the Z line has come over here. The new position of Z line is here. And ये actin यहाँ पे extend कर दिया, तो ज़्यादा actin myosin के साथ में overlap हो रहा है. But I band, does it include myosin के साथ overlap part? So the answer is no. I band is only going to include your actin. So hence जब contraction होगा, because the Z lines have come closer, तो only this much part will be included in your I band. So during contraction, the length of the I band shortens. A band के length में any change is going to occur? The answer is no. And what is H zone? Okay, H zone is another term which is important. H zone क्या होता है? H zone is similar to I band. I band क्या था? Only actin. वैसे H zone is only myosin. Okay, so H zone is where only myosin is going to be present. मतलब ये part. Okay, this is the H zone. It's going to only have myosin, right? तो अभी this is the relaxed state, right? अब जब contraction हो रही है, so Z lines are going to come closer. Actin ज़्यादा overlap कर रहा है myosin को, but H band is going to include only myosin. But now actin has come closer. Okay, ज़्यादा part interdigitate हो रहा है, तो H band का length will decrease during contraction. So during contraction, A band का length will remain same, because A band, what does it tell about? It tells about the length of myosin. Myosin के length में कुछ change हो रहा है क्या? The answer is no. During contraction, it is a thin filament which is going to slide over the thick filament, right? So myosin same रह रहा है. So hence during contraction, A band का length is going to remain the same, whereas your I band है, it is going to shorten, and H zone also, because the actin they've come closer, so the overlap portion is more. And H zone क्या बताता है? Only myosin का part. So even H zone will shorten, and अगर severe contraction है तो H zone may disappear also. So hope you have understood the concept. Now A band is entire length of myosin, मतलब including कि actin के साथ में जो overlap part है, right? Now will it change during contraction? The answer is does not change, because myosin के length में तो there is no change. आई बैंड विल इंक्लूड ओनली एक्टिन. तो जब कॉन्ट्रैक्शन का एक्टिन का ओवरलैप्ड पार्ट भी आ जाएगा, मोर ओवरलैपिंग विल बी देयर, सो ओनली एक्टिन वाला पार्ट विल डिक्रीज, सो हेंस shortens in contraction. H zone will include only myosin. H zone includes only myosin. So contraction के टाइम पे again more overlapping will occur. So if there is severe contraction, so फिर it may also disappear during contraction. Z line is where actin is attached, and it is sarcomere का boundary, right? Because sarcomere extends from one Z line to another Z line. And M line is the middle of the sarcomere which will hold your myosin. Okay, so hope you have understood this. Sarcomere ka, this was the basic concept. Now why are they named so? A band, I band. I band is isotropic, A band is anisotropic. Why are they named so? Because जब polarized light को भी pass through them, so I band will show an isotropic appearance, it will show similar appearance because only actin रहेंगे. So a regular pattern. A band will be showing anisotropy. That's not so important. Just for the full form like I band Q, A band Q, that for that it's fine. Another term which is there in your Ganong is your pseudo edge zone. Pseudo edge zone, okay? That's a new term, okay? ये क्या है basically कि edge zone क्या था? It was including only your myosin. Okay, pseudo edge zone will include. It will include. Only the tail of myosin. Now myosin का structure I'll show you. However, this will be dealt nicely in the next video. So myosin है, ये myosin की दो heads है, okay? So edge zone में क्या आ रहा है? Only the tail. It will not also, it won't be including the head as well. But edge zone was including पूरा myosin, not the actin. So pseudo edge zone will include only, it is without the head of myosin, it will include only the tail. Now ऐसे questions have been asked कि what is the arrangement from the sarcomere का one boundary to the another, okay? So what is the arrangement? So what you can remember is ZAM, okay? ZAHM. Now क्या है? Basically there's one Z line. If I band also you're including तो ZAM बन जाएगा, but mostly ZAM पे questions आया, so इसके लिए तो Z line, फिर I band, फिर A band आता है, फिर A band में not overlap portion मतलब H zone आता है, this and your M line आता है. Now what is this? This is an electron microscopic picture of a sarcomere. अभी देखो जो myosin था, okay? So those were your thick filaments. Those were your thick filaments. So thick filaments थे. So hence in electron microscopy they will be showing a darker appearance. So hence A band will be dark. How will you identify A band? It's a darker portion, that is going to be your A band. जो lighter portion है, that's going to be your I band क्योंकि actin filament है, actin thin है, so वो light दिखेगा electron microscopy में, right? And फिर how will you identify the edge zone? See ये A band का center में से which line will go? A band is dark. Dark मतलब myosin. Myosin is attached to M line. तो ये M line is going from the middle of the A band. Just adjacent to that M line, what you will see? You will be seeing your edge zone. मतलब जहाँ पे myosin and actin का overlapping is not there, and यहाँ पे this पूरा thing you can call it as an A band क्योंकि यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा overlapping भी हो रही होगी, right? So hope you have understood. This is electron microscopy. में basically question हो सकता, मतलब ऐसे आ सकता है कि they'll mark this portion and they'll ask कि what is this. So you have to tell this is the A band because ये darker portion है, right? Okay, so now this is if you can remember, you shall remember. Okay? You may remember this, but not so important. Okay, so average length, answers it may be helpful, but वैसे तो no questions. So average length of a sarcomere is 2 to 2.2 micrometer. Maximum length of the sarcomere without rupture is 3.6 micrometer, and minimum length of the sarcomere is 1.6 micrometer. So at least you remember कि micrometers में होता है. Okay, options में confuses nanometer वगैरह दे दिया तो ये सब I'll be talking in the next video because ये actin myosin का arrangement के regarding है. Another thing which I want you to pay attention is कि actin myosin are the major proteins. Okay, that will be dealt in the next video. but ये proteins, these supporting proteins पे also there are questions asked. Okay, इस पे I want you to pay some attention. Okay, just one function of each is there. मतलब function basically वो location पे है, right? So titin, okay, so titin पे what I want you to remember कि it is the largest protein. अभी largest है titin. I want you to remember largest protein. So largest protein है तो कहाँ से कहाँ connect करेगा? It will connect तो ना the major chunk, it will connect Z line to M line. So titin जो है it will connect Z line to M line. So you can see this spring जैसा बनाया है. So hence titin is like an elastic spring. It will connect the Z line to the M line. So this is your titin. Now then there is desmin. Desmin क्या है? Structural support दे रहा है. Okay, not that important. But वो कहाँ से कहाँ connect करे, that is what is important. It is going to connect Z line to sarcolemma. Sarcolemma मतलब जो मसल का सेल का मेम्ब्रेन है उसको from the Z line. So that will be done by desmin. So ये Z line है and ये suppose करो sarcolemma है तो उनको कौन connect कर रहा है? ये protein connect कर रहा है. So this is your desmin. Okay, I'll open them. I'll reveal them, right? So desmin, it is an intermediate filament. Intermediate filament मतलब it is उसका diameter is between a microfilament and a microtubule, right? Then dystrophin, तो it was done in my last video कि वो link करता है muscle to the extracellular matrix. Okay, link करता है muscle को to the extracellular matrix. और ये dystrophin, because dystrophin का major role क्या था? It was a shock absorber. Okay, वो सिर्फ जो response है वो muscle को नहीं limit करने देगा. It will help in the transmission to the bones and the tendons, right? This is important. Alpha actinin, myomycin. Okay, alpha actinin क्या करेगा? वो actin is attached to the Z line. Okay, but उसको support कौन करे? It is alpha actinin which is supporting. So often what kind of questions it may be asked is कि they'll mark this line, Z line, and they'll say कि which protein is present there. Okay, Z line में. So option में have actin. The answer won't be actin because Z line और actin को join करने वाला protein is alpha actinin. So that would be a preferable answer. So okay, so hope you have understood this कि alpha actinin will anchor the actin to the Z line. See, myomycin will anchor the myosin to the M line. So M line को which protein will be present? It's going to be your myomycin. The nebulin is a molecular ruler. So nebulin will be important है. It tells about the length of the actin. Okay. तो जैसे myosin, what A band was telling you, length of myosin. वैसे you didn't find anything जो बता रहा था length of actin. So उसके लिए what is the protein? The nebulin. Okay, the A band was telling the length of myosin, but actin के लिए was there any protein? Did you see anything? No. So nebulin is a molecular ruler जो कि length of actin बता रहा है. So इसका length fixed है. Why we calling it as a ruler? क्योंकि उसका length तो actin का length is gonna be the same always. No, contraction relaxation of actin का length तो same रहेगा. So it is a molecular ruler. And Sarca, okay, Sarca I'll tell. Sarca is basically, okay, I'll tell that in the further upcoming videos. मतलब next video only muscle contraction में उसमें it will have a major role. Okay. Okay, so yeah. So what is there? Contraction में these are the key points. Contraction में A band में there's going to be no change because length of myosin बता रहा है. Myosin का length change हो रहा है. देखो कोई भी protein का length नहीं change हो रहा है. Myosin का भी length नहीं change हो रहा है, nor actin का length change हो रहा है. I band is changing because it includes only actin. Myosin का overlapped portion is decreasing, is increasing, overlapping. तो इसके लिए वो decreases. So I band will decrease. Edge zone may disappear during severe contraction, and Z lines will come closer because actin pull करेगा तो Z lines are gonna come closer. Okay. So yeah, I'll talk about actin, troponin वगैरह in the next video. Myosin वगैरह का structure also in the next video. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hope you've understood sarcomere. Thanks for watching. Hope you liked it.